just kind of recapping the big local stories. Inter Miami win last night. They're down 2-0. Lionel Messi. Free kick into the box. Leo Campana header. They're down 2-1. And then in stoppage time, 95th minute, Lionel Messi, another stroke of brilliance, finds Leo Campana again. Perfect cross into the box. Campana delivers. Joseph Martinez puts him ahead 3-2 in extra time. Since he ties it, and then once again, we go to the penalty kick shootout, and Inter Miami comes out on top. They'll play the final September 27th at Drive Pink Stadium. It'll be here in Miami against Houston.
Listen, I'll tell you this much, and I said it earlier. I said it like an hour ago. It is a cheat code. I'll tell you this. It's comparison to 2006 when I played with Jason Taylor when he won the Defensive Player of the Year. We played Minnesota in Dolphin Stadium, and it was Dolphin Stadium at the time. I don't know what the hell it's called now, but it was in Dolphin Stadium. And Jason Taylor told me, he said, hey, they're going to try to throw a screen against trips. He said, press the back because I'm going to pick it off. And when you're on the sideline with a guy like that, like, you just say, okay, you know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, JT, I got you. I'm going to press the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you amp up a guy like that. And if anybody remembers in that game, 06, go back and look at the tape, he picked off a screen against Minnesota, ran it back for a touchdown to win the game. And at that point, he Defensive Player of the Year, obviously. He was the best defensive player in the world. And that's how I feel about Messi. Like, he can call his shots. He'll go out. Hey, man, if y'all are going to do this, okay. If I get the ball, everybody's going to come to me, so I'm going to get it. I'm going to cross it to the second best player or third best player on the team and let him kick it in. It is a cheat code, and I'll say it again. I feel bad for every other team in MLS because of the fact that they got to play Lionel Messi whenever they face Inter Miami.
Yeah, I get what I get it. Well, I mean, we talked about it earlier. He's head and shoulders better than everybody else in the field. But I still think the comparisons fall short of being accurate because, for example, LeBron James, somebody had texted this in earlier that it's like LeBron James playing in the G League. That's the comparison that we should all be making. And while I think it's a better comparison than LeBron playing against YMCA kids, there's 5 players on a basketball court. LeBron James, over a span of 8 games, which is what Messi has played here with Inter Miami, he could have a 50-point game, 50-point game, 50-point game, 50-point game, 50-point game, and they're going to win, right? Because he takes over, and that's how basketball works. Like, one player can win you a game any given day. But in soccer, it's different because there's 11 players on the field, 10 if you don't include the goalie. And while Messi, yes, has been able to take over games and has scored some unbelievable goals, you still need a team effort to win the game, which is why in the World Cup, the most talented teams don't always win because you have teams who maybe aren't as talented, like Croatia, who was in a World Cup final in 2018 and got back to the semifinal or the quarterfinal, but they have a very good group of players who play well as a team. I think it's very different. And I think you're seeing Messi elevate those around him. And when you need that stroke of brilliance, when you need that one moment where he takes over the game, he's capable of doing it. But to just chalk this up as Messi's better than everybody, it's not fair. It's not fair. I don't think is doing it justice because you are watching a good team right now.
No. Solana, what we talked about it. With that 7-game winning streak, when they win whatever, what trophy did they just win? The interleague, interseason, divisional, whatever that trophy they just won.
League's Cup Championship.
The League Cup Championship. Didn't Messi score game 2 in the 6th minute, game 3 in the 7th minute, game 4 in the 8th minute, game 9 in the 11th minute?
Yeah.
It is crazy. It is stupid what he's doing right now, man. It's not like you're saying. He is better than those guys. He's extremely better player than everybody else on that field, and he's making everybody better. I'm with you. He's making everybody better. Calendar, I don't know. I'm gonna say
The
I'm not gonna
goalie.
say it.
The goalie. I mean,
The
he's not
goalie.
making him better though. Like the goalie's
He's
just
making
playing.
him better. When if I'm the goalie and I know that I have Messi that's gonna go get me one every game, and all I have to do is stop one. If I can keep it to 1-0, if all I have to do, bro, I'm a defensive player, Solana. I know how it is to have, and I use the example all the time. 2008, when I knew that Wildcat team was going to score 20 points. This is a different league. I knew that Wildcat League was going to score 20 points as the defensive captain, and I could tell my men, hey, keep them under 19. We're going to win this game, bro. And we won the AFC East that year, and I knew that. It's a different feeling amongst everybody when you know that there is a guy like Messi that can go score in the 6th minute of one game, the 7th minute of the next game, the 8th minute of the next game. We're going to put points on the board. We're going to put scores on the board. If he's on this field, bro, it's a different feeling amongst the entire organization.
I'm with you, though. And I think that comes into that mental aspect of elevating everybody around you. But I also think there's an actual performance-based aspect of elevating everybody around you. And I think he's done that. I think he's been able to make guys like Robbie Taylor play better by getting them into more open space because of the demand of the defense of the opposition on Leo Messi or on Busquets. But, you know, basically what you're doing is discrediting the rest of the team, which I take issue with, because it's not like they've beaten teams 6-0, 7-0. They've tied 3 games. Like, they've gone to penalty shootouts in 3 of the 8 games. They're not dominating opponents. They dominated 2 opponents, but they're not dominating everybody. You need players to step up and make plays, and Messi happens to be the greatest player in the world at doing that in the biggest moments.
The rest of the team that was the last place in their division, the rest of the team that was the worst team in their division at the time. You've told me this. I don't know nothing about soccer. You told me they were the worst team in their division until Messi got there. So this team that's amazing you're talking about, all these players that are balling that can't win a damn game, and now you're saying Messi comes, and they're stepping up there. I know they're stepping up their standards. They're playing better because everybody's looking at that little 5'4" little fella running around that can score from anywhere on the damn court, field, pitch, whatever you want to call it.
That's definitely a part of it. I'm with you. There's so much attention on him that it's allowed other players to have more opportunities than they had earlier, but it's not just Messi on the field. I mean, you're talking about a whole new manager. You're talking about 2 new players from South America that they've added since Messi joined the team. And you're talking about 2 other players coming over from La Liga, the Spanish top flight team of Barcelona, and Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba also joining them. Like, it's a combination of everything. It's not as simple as you're making it, where you're saying Messi's a cheat code. It's not fair. He's going to beat every MLS team. Like, they've tied 3 games. They're not just rolling over opponents, but he has shown why he's the greatest player in the history of the game, because he's capable of doing incredible things every single time he plays a game on the pitch. And that's what he's done, by the way. Like, he is literally giving you one of those, oh my God, moments every single game, because he's great, because he is a cheat code. I'm with you. But by saying, like, it's Messi and it's like LeBron playing at the YMCA, you're basically saying everybody around him are a bunch of chumps and he's carrying the load. And while he is carrying the team, he's not just doing it by himself. Like, they're making plays as well. All right.
I didn't know if Josh had something else, but I had some rebuttal to that.
Put a little respect on Benjamin Kramaski's name. All right, Crowder? What are we doing?
Benjamin Salami. He's never going to win a game if Messi's not there.
I think that's how Solana pronounced his name a month ago, too, when we were talking about him.
Salami ain't got a chance if Messi's not there.
I have indeed jumped on the bandwagon, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm proud of it, too, by the way. I'm proud of it. All right, let's get to headlines here. Driven by the new
that wasn't headlines?
Was that headlines? I may have already read the liner there. I can't believe, like, I have Crowder fighting with me about MLS soccer. I mean, what an era we have approached here in South Florida. Where
I'm fighting with you. I'm fighting with you about greatness. MLS. I just see. Listen, this is the funny. I'm glad you brought that up, Solon. This is the funny thing about this. I don't know about soccer. I know there was a team that the seats were $7 to sit in the front row before Messi got there, and now they're charging thousands of dollars to see this little itty bitty fella the size of a beer bottle play. He is stupid good. He's a cheat code, Solana. I swear to good, like, I don't know how you can argue with this. I don't know about soccer, but I know about greatness, and I'm seeing greatness right now. I told you the other day, Josh, I don't know if you heard this story. So I was around Jay Cutler, and me and Jay Cutler were talking, and he's like, hey, where you living, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Jay Cutler, I live in Miami. And Jay Cutler said, boy, Inter Miami got something. He didn't say Tua. He didn't say Damian Lillard. He didn't say Jimmy Butler. He didn't say Bam Adebayo. He didn't say Kachuk. He didn't say Ekblad. He said the first time I said Miami, Jay Cutler's response was, Inter Miami is something else because of Messi. And that's when it clicked to me. This dude is a cheat code, Solana. He is the best player in the world that jumped into a YMCA league, and he is scoring 100 points a game, and everybody's like, well, that's what he's supposed to be. I don't know how you don't see it, Solana.
You sure Jake Cutler didn't want to talk to you about Benjamin Kremaski? Are you sure? You didn't ask him about salami?
I got him an orange juice. I gave him an orange juice. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like we didn't even ask you enough about Jake Cutler, because you did tell us, and we kind of just glossed over it, but did Jake Cutler have a cigarette in his ear or lit while talking to you?
No, he didn't. He had on a polyester little jacket, and I told him, I was like, Jay, you have too much money to dress that way. And it was Jay Cutler and Joe Flacco. The rooms I'm in are very weird. How the hell can I sit down with Jay Cutler and Joe Flacco? And Joe Flacco is a monster. He's like 6'6". He's a big old dude, weird. Jay Cutler's always mad at the world. But they both had on these Ross jumpsuits, and I didn't like it.
I've heard Joe Flacco's a very funny guy. Like when he's not thrown out in front of like the traditional media settings, like in private, he's apparently a very funny guy, interesting guy.
He got some punchline. We were talking about kids, Josh. So yeah, he was, it's fun. I'll say when you talk about people's families, kids, wives, they tighten up a little bit. So he tightened up a little bit because I wanted to know. I asked Joe, I was like, Joe, man, what's your favorite position? Like, you have a lot of kids. Like, how did you make your kids? And he didn't like my questions, Josh. I made people feel uncomfortable.
What was the because he was married to Kristen Cavalieri, right?
That was Jay Cutler,
yeah, who was like an MTV star. What was the story where he had to like clear her milk ducts or whatever? Remember when that went viral when he was playing down here in Miami? Weird dude, Jay Cutler. Weird dude.
I'm gonna ask that question next time I see him because I don't know, but breast milk is nasty.
You've tried it.
I've tasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't recommend?
Very tart.
The Marlins, they're off today. They're back in action tomorrow.